So hello and welcome. In this After Effects tutorial I would like to show you a very simple animation. So this is what we are going to be doing today. Okay, as you can see it was pretty simple, but I would like to show you how you can do something like this. So I went to the site freepik. It's the site for the free vectors, but you will have to attribute the author if you don't have premium, which is pretty cheap. And I'm going to get this image. So I'm going to click on this one and I will provide the link in the description. I'm going to click download and I will go with free download. Uh, now there is going to be this option to copy and attribute the author, and now I'm going to save this somewhere. So I will go to my folder very quickly and I am going to hit save. Then I will go to my folder and I am going to have one zip file like this. So what I am going to do is right click and choose extract here. And now we are going to have a bunch of files. One is JPEG, one is Illustrator, and so on. And we are interested usually in these two files, AI or EPS. But when we have AI, it's maybe better. So I'm going to double click on this one, and it is going to open me this vector in the Illustrator. Alright, I'm going to get some warning that some fonts are missing, but I do not care about the fonts, so I'm going to hit close. Alright, so right now, if I click on this one and I will try to move, it is all going to be connected together. So what we need to do is right click and choose ungroup. And one thing, if you move this and you go Ctrl Z, you may get something like this. Just hit stop. Alright, so we will right click and we will choose ungroup. Okay, but this is still going to be connected together, these parts. So now what I want to do is right click, and I do not have an option to ungroup anymore, but I have an option to release clipping mask. And if you don't have this option, there is possibility that you have clicked maybe somewhere else, I don't know. So click on one of these and then right click and choose release clipping mask. Alright, and now all of them should be on the separated layer. Well, now what I want to do is create a new file. So I'm going to hit Ctrl N. And this is file that we are going to use in the After Effects. And I would like to go with 920 by 1080, which is standard Full HD format. And I will hit create. I do not want update now. And now what we can do is get these vectors to the new file. So I can either highlight everything like so. I am going to make sure that nothing is locked. Nothing is locked, so it's okay. So yeah, I can go ahead and take all of them like this. We are not going to need all of them. I can hit stop in here, but we can take them. So now one by one I can delete some that I do not want to. I do not want this copy, so I will hit delete. I do not need this text, so I'm going to hit delete, and now we can continue. I'm going to zoom out a little bit with Alt and Wheel, and I'm going to scale this up, this background. So with Shift and maybe Alt to go from the center, we can scale it like so. Again, stop, and we can put it to the center like this. Alright, now again I'm going to delete some of the parts that I do not need. I would like to have this one and this one and this one. I do not need this one, so I can delete it. This one and this one is pretty much the same, it's just mirrored. So I'm going to click on one of them and I will delete it. And this coffee beans, I guess, we have 4 of them. We do not need 4 of them, so I can go ahead and delete them one by one like so, and delete this one. Alright, so now if I open my layer, we should have 6 layers, and this is one layer which I have no idea what it is. I will zoom out. Oh, it seems like to be empty. It doesn't matter, I'm going to delete this one, like so. And now we have 6 layers, because we have 5 vectors and we have one background. Okay. One thing that we can do in here, we can scale them up a little bit, so it is going to be easier to work with them in the After Effects. So I will click on them and I will scale them. Alright, like this. Now what we want to do is we would like to distribute them to the layers, because now it is all in one layer and we can open this layer, but it is going to be inside of the layer. So what we can do is click on the layer 1. On the right corner there are these 3 lines. I can click on them and I have an option to release to layer sequence. Okay, so I'm going to choose this, and now what I need to do is select all of them like so and drag them down. And now we are going to have 7 layers. One of them, the first one, is going to be empty layer, because this is layer from which we took everything, and then we have 6 layers with 6 vectors. So I'm going to delete this one, and we have 6 layers, and what we can do is hit Ctrl S, and we can go ahead and save this. So I will go to my folder. Here I am going to create, I have a freepik folder. I will create maybe AE folder, and here I am going to call this to be copy, for example, and I am going to hit save. And a window like this is going to pop out, and all you need to do is just hit OK, and it is going to save. Okay, so now what I want to do is open my After Effects, so I am going to double click. I will have to wait maybe a few seconds, maybe a few more seconds, but eventually it is going to open my After Effects, and I can close this window if you are going to have something like this. So I'm going to hit X, and now I have empty After Effects file. Okay, so we are not going to hit new composition. We are not going to hit new composition from the footage. What we are actually going to do is we will go to the folder where we have our illustrator. So I have it in here, and I am going to drag it to the After Effects like so. And I'm going to have an option to import this as a composition or as a footage. Footage would be, I wouldn't have an option to work with individual layers, so I would like to go with composition, and I'm going to hit OK. Alright, right now if I go ahead and double click on this copy composition, I am going to get inside of this composition, and I have all of the things that I had in the Illustrator, and I have 6 layers. Fine. The first thing that we should do always is go ahead and hit Ctrl S for the save, and I am going to save it somewhere here. I have IE file, freepik file, and I am going to create a file, After Effects, and I am going to call this coffee again, and I'm going to hit save. Alright, so as I showed you at the beginning, we are going to have an animation which is going to have some kind of camera movement, and it is moving from left to right. So temporarily we will at the end go back to the default, but we are going to change the composition settings. So I will go to the copy, and I can either right click and choose composition settings like so. I will cancel this, or you can go with the shortcut, which is Ctrl K, and it is going to do the same. Alright, here you can change the name of the composition and all of the stuff. And if you have your lock aspect ratio checked, please uncheck it right now, and we can go to the width, And we can either type some number, or we can go like times 5 or times 4. Maybe 4 is enough, but I will go with the 5, and I am going to hit OK. And right now we have created a composition which is going to be much wider. Alright, and right now what we can do is select all of them, and with maybe shift and arrows we can move it like so to the left. Alright, fine. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and what do I want to do right now is I would like to duplicate my background. So this bottom layer is going to be background. I can hide it to make sure it is. So I can hit enter, and I can call this to be BG background, and I can go ahead and hit Ctrl D for the duplicate. I don't know how this is without shortcut, so Ctrl D, and I can go ahead and move this like so, and I can rescale it like this. All you need to do actually, if you do not want to do it manually, you can hit S, and you can uncheck this proportional and type just -100, and it is going to mirror your background. Alright? But one issue right now is these backgrounds, they are not 100% transparent. So I would have to go like this, and we are still going to have little line in here. So right now you can keep this as it is, and you will have this little line, or you can do something like this. I will have to go and open the Photoshop, but as I said, you do not need to do this. This line is not as big deal, but I would like to get this as a JPEG. So I'm going to hit create new. I will go with 920 by 1080. I'm going to hit create, and I will go to my Illustrator. I'm going to get the background, and I'm going to drag the background from the Illustrator to my Photoshop like so, and hopefully it is going to be working even for you like this. Alright, I will hit enter to confirm. I'm going to hit Ctrl T, and I'm going to scale this up a little bit. It's just texture, so it doesn't matter when I scale it much. I'm going to hit enter one more time, and I will go, I'm going to export this. So the shortcut is Ctrl Shift Alt S. It might be a difficult shortcut, so we can go File, Export, Export as, Alt Shift Ctrl W. So pretty long shortcut, but I use it all the time like this. But I understand that some of you may be on the Mac, and Ctrl Shift Alt, it's like you have to type everything. And I will choose JPEG, and I am going to choose Export All. And now I'm going to get option to save this. So I will go to the After Effects, to the tutorial where I have it, and I'm going to create one more folder, which is going to be JPEGs, and I am going to call this to be BG. I will save. I will go back to my After Effects, and I'm going to delete these backgrounds, and I'm going to replace it with the new background. And in the new background, I'm not going to have this kind of overlapping. And I do not know why this is overlapping, because in the even in the Illustrator, it was on the 100% transparency and no blending mode. So I'm not really sure why it is behaving like this. So you can skip the Photoshop part, and you can do it like so, or you can go as I go. I can even provide you this background in the description if you want. So I am going to delete these two BGs. I will go to the to my file. I will go to the JPEGs, and I'm going to get this background to the After Effect, and I'm going to get it in here. By default it will go to the center, so I will move it, and I'm holding shift to stay on the same line, to don't go up or down. So hold shift. If you accidentally double click on your background, you can get inside like so. In that case, just click X in here and you will go back. So holding shift and moving like so. Alright, and now what I can do what I wanted to do before. I will hit Ctrl D. I am going to move this like so. And you can either go in here and make it like so, as I showed you before, like this. I will go back. Or you can, as I showed you before, hit S. Unclick this one, constant proportional. Maybe I will zoom in a little bit inside, but if I zoom after the recording tutorial, I'm going to lose a little bit of quality. So let me know if you want to zoom even though it is losing a little bit of the quality. So I'm going to click this one, and in here I'm going to type minus. Okay, and now it has mirrored up like so, and you can even move it a little bit. It's okay, fine. And now what I can do is I can duplicate this one, so Ctrl D, and I'm going to put this up. And right now I do not need to rotate this one because they are going to be changing, so I can drag this like so, and now end of this one is going to be matching end of this one like this. Okay, and maybe we can duplicate this one also, so we are going to have a really long background, and we can do it like this. So this is one of the way how you can extend your background, and probably we do not need to this one. Maybe if we need, we will do it later on. All right. So now we have 4 layers of the backgrounds, and what we can do is pre-compose them. So we are going to have them in the one layer. So I'm going to highlight all of them. There is a shortcut Ctrl-Shift-C, or you can right click and there is option to pre-compose. So I will click this, and you do not need to change anything. You can actually change only the name. So I can change the name to be BG, so backgrounds. And this is move all attributes into the new composition. We want to have this, and we do not need to click this or this. So I will just hit OK, and now we have all of the backgrounds in one layer. And this is pre-composed, so I can click on the composition, and I would go inside the composition, and I could make some changes. But here now I have this BG composition, and I can go back to my coffee composition like so. And I can close the BG. I can double click to open it one more time, and so on. So like that. Alright, so now what I am going to do is I am going to distribute this parts a little bit in here. So this one I will put in here. And one thing actually that I want to do is I want to log my backgrounds, so I can't accidentally move them. Alright, I'm going to move this a little bit maybe in here, and this copy I'm going to move in here. Alright, and now we can create some very simple text. So I will go to the text tool, and I am going to choose some funny font. This is really optional. I do not want to waste time on the fonts, so I can go with maybe something like this. I don't know, and I am going to just type welcome to coffee journey, something like this. I misspell, and I can go in here, hit enter, and here is my text. I am going to make it a little bit smaller. You can make the font smaller in here. You can make the lines smaller in here, but I think this is okay. So something like this. Alright, so right now I am going to very quickly show you how we are going to be working, and then we will go back because I want you to understand in advance why we are doing maybe something. So what we will be doing is we will create a new null object, so layer, new, null object like so, and then we will parent everything to the null object, so even the backgrounds like so, and we are going to parent it to the null object like this. I will log this one more time. Then we will go back to the copy composition, and we will change the composition settings back to 920 by 1080 like this, and then with the null object, and everything is connected to the null object, we will be moving it like so. Okay, and this is going to be creating the effect of the camera movement like this. All right, so I will go a couple step backs because I do not want to do it right now. I just wanted to show you. So I will go back unless my null object is away. So you do not need to do this right now. I just wanted to let you know how we are going to be working. So maybe without this, it wouldn't make sense. Alright, so now what we are going to be doing, we will very quickly name our layers. So I'm going to hit enter, and I can call this to be very simple part 1 because it is going to be the first one. This one is going to be part 2, and this is going to be part 3. This one is going to be coffee, and I will call it top because it's from the top perspective, and this is going to be just coffee bean, so like this. And now what I want to do is I'm going to duplicate this copy, so I'm going to hit Ctrl D. I'm going to move a little bit, and one of the copy 2, I'm going to drag somewhere here. Okay, and I would like to work only with this one, and actually I am going to change the layer color for the better distinguishing. So I'm going to click in here on this color, on this blue or purple color, and I'm going to change this maybe to brown. Alright, and now what I want to do is hit Ctrl D and move this little bit, hit Ctrl D, move this little bit, hit Ctrl D and move this little bit, and maybe one more time. And this is just a little bit of design. I don't know, if you don't like this, you can do this as you like. Alright, and now I am going to get all of them, and I am going to pre-compose. So either Ctrl Shift C or right click, pre-compose. Okay, and I am going to log this because otherwise we wouldn't have option to click on anything else. So always when you have pre-composing something, log it, and you can unlog it when you need to use it. Alright, so now I'm going to take this one, and again I'm going to duplicate it, and I will move this little bit in here, and this one I will take with me, and I'm going to draw a path with this copy bean. So again I am going to click on this one. I will maybe choose green color, it doesn't matter, and I am going to rotate this little bit. So with W, it is this layer, you can rotate it like so, and I will unzoom a little bit like this, and now I'm going to hit Ctrl D. I will hit V for the selection, and I am going to move it like so. Alright, again Ctrl D and move it, and if you accidentally scale it, go back and do it one more time and move it like so. Ctrl D, move it, Ctrl D, move it. So we have something like this. Okay, we can even move this a little farther away and do this one more time. Ctrl D and move it like so. Alright, fine. And maybe actually we can click on all of them, and even this one, and we can move it a little bit more like so. Alright, and I will move this little bit away. Okay, so now we are going to animate this, and we are going to animate this with the mask. So first thing that I want to do is pre-compose all of this. So I'm going to I will go with the shortcut I already showed you where it is. So Ctrl Shift C, and I can call this to be coffee path 1, and I will hit OK. Okay, so here I have my coffee path 1. Actually, I can go ahead and log this, and I will make sure that nothing is selected, and then I am going to create a rectangle, and I will choose some random color, but I would like to have something not brown, so I can see it better, and I'm going to create shape like this. Alright, and on this shape I will have to move the anchor point, because if I click on the shape, by default the anchor point is going to be here in the center of the composition. So I will hit Y, or this one, this is pan behind anchor point, you can see the shortcut Y, and I'm going to drag it like so. And I can drag it approximately to the left, or if you are going to hold Ctrl or Command, you can, let me zoom in, if you hold Ctrl or Command, you can snap it to the center, or to the left side, or to the right side, or to the corner, and so on. And now I will hit S for the scale, and maybe I will zoom in a little bit on the timeline. I am going to click the keyframe. I will unclick these constraint proportions, so unclick this one, move maybe to 4-5 seconds, and animate it like so. Alright, fine. And now this shape layer, I am going to hit enter, and I am going to call this mask 1. Alright, and I am going to put this about the coffee path 1, so I'm going to drag it below like so. And now temporarily I am going to unlock my coffee path 1, and in here, and if you don't have this one, just click toggle switch modes at the bottom, and it is going to switch these modes, or you can hit F4, it is going to do the same. So get to this one, and on this coffee path choose alpha mate mask 1. And now what is going to happen is this is going to be visible only where the mask is, and mask is slowly animating in, and it is going to reveal these coffee beans. Alright, fine. So now I would like to animate this one, but you can see that right now I am clicking, and I am clicking on the coffee path 1, because once we pre-compose, the composition is going to contain all of the composition. So I would like to log this, and now I can click on this one without any issue, and I would like to animate this in. And I can go very simple with the transparency animation, something like this. So to animate from the 0 opacity to the 100 opacity, but I would like to do something a little bit better. So right now we will have to go, we do not have to go, but I would like to go to the Google, and I would like to download some very simple image. So I will open my browser, here is my freepik, and I am going to search for ink, like ink, PNG, something like this, and I will go to the images, and you can take any of these, but make sure that it is really PNG, because some of them are not PNGs. But I would like to go with this one. I am going to provide the link in the description, and I will click, and I am going to right click, and I am going to choose save image as. Hopefully this image is free, it's just ink, so it's fine. And I am going to save this to my JPEGs, so I will hit save. And I am going to, once this is downloaded, I will drag this to my After Effects. So I'm going to drag it like so. I will go to my After Effects, and I'm going to drag it to my project like this. And now what I can do is get this one and drag it in here. Alright, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I have it in here. And what I want to do is drag this to be under part 2, but to have part 1, and above part 1 have this one. And now I am going to hit scale. I am going to scale this down, and I will put it approximately to the center of this image, and I will scale it to the 0. I am going to click keyframe. I will move maybe 40 frames or 30. So with shift and page down you can move 10 frames to the right, or page up to the left. So page down, maybe 40, and I am going to animate it to cover all of the image like this. And now I can click on the part 1 and I can click alpha mate link stain 1 PNG, and now we are going to have an animation. I think this is going to look cool, where this is going to be by mask revealed as the ink look. Okay, so I think that this looks fine. So something like this. Alright, so now I think we can continue, and we will adjust this later on. Maybe we will create some easings at the end, but now I would like to continue. So now I will click on this copy bin, and that's why I have duplicated this copy bin. And if you didn't duplicated your copy bin for any reason, you can double click in here. In here you can get to your copy bins. You could copy C and Ctrl V and get it in here, but I have it duplicated, so it's okay. I am going to log this. Alright, so now I'm going to draw again a path. So I'm going to do it like this. I will actually change again the color, so I can go with maybe orange, and I'm going to hit Ctrl D, and I will do it like so. And actually I'm going to hit W, and I'm going to rotate it a little bit. I'm going to hit Ctrl D one more time, selection tool, move it, W, rotate it a little bit, again Ctrl D, selection tool, V, move it, W, rotation tool, and so on. And again Ctrl D, selection tool, and do it like so. And I can rotate it one more time. And now I can hit Ctrl D, selection tool, and start to rotate it to the other side like this. I am actually going to move this little bit like so, and I'm going to continue. I'm going to click on this one, Ctrl D, selection tool, move it, and rotate it. So this is up to you. You do not have to do it like this, but it doesn't take as much time, so I think it's fine. Like this, W, and rotate it. Okay, I'm going to zoom out, and we have something like this, and I think that this looks pretty fine. And I'm going to click on this one, W, and I'm going to rotate it to have it like so. Alright, so one more time, these copy bins, they have orange color, so I can know all of them where they are. I can with shift select all of them, and I can right click, and I can choose pre-compose like this. I can call this to be coffee path 2, number 2, and I'm going to click OK. Fine. And again, the same thing as with the coffee path 1. I am going to create a shape, and I am going to animate it. We could duplicate this the first shape, but I do not want to make this complicated, so I am going to go to rectangle tool. I will have to unselect this because otherwise we will be doing a mask. So nothing, if nothing is selected, we are going to be creating the shape. I am going to create shape like this. I am going to hit enter. While I am going to be on the shape, this is going to be mask 2. Alright, I am going to drag this about the copy path 2 like this, and I am going to I will go to the, actually I will have to get the anchor point, so this span behind tool, and move the anchor point in here, Control to snap it, go to the scale, uncheck this proportional scaling, create keyframe, move maybe, I don't know, 40-50 frames, and you can animate it like so. And now we can go to the coffee path 2, and we can choose that we would like to alpha mate mask 2. Alright, so now we are going to have something like this. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit, and now we are going to do the same animation with this one as we did with this one. Alright, so I am going to duplicate this ink, Ctrl D, and I am going to put it over the part 2 like so, and I will hit U because it already has a key. I will make it visible, and I will have to move this like so. I am going to hit U, and I am going to move these keyframes, and I am going to put it to the center like so, and now it is going to be animating in. I can make this to be a little bit less, and again the same thing. I am going to click on the part 1, and I am going to choose that I would like to alpha mate ink one PNG, and now we are going to have the animation like this, and then this is going to be appearing, and we can move this like so. Alright, so we have something like this. Then we continue, we have something like this. Alright, and now from this one to this one I am going to create just a very simple straight line. And right now I didn't copy my my coffee bean, so I will have to go to the pre-composed coffee path. So I'm going to double click in here. I will move in here a little bit like so. I'm going to hit Ctrl C. I will go back to my coffee composition. I'm going to hit Ctrl V. This is going to give me this coffee bean. I will move in here so I can see everything. I will change the color to maybe not blue, because everything is blue, but I can go with yellow. Alright, and I'm going to move it like so. With W, I am going to rotate it like this. And now again we are going to be just hitting Ctrl D, selection tool, and I do not want to scale it. I will zoom in a little bit like so. Ctrl D, move it, make sure that you are going in the right direction. We are. Ctrl D, move it like so very quickly, like this. Ctrl D, and maybe one more time like so. Alright, and now we are going to do the same thing as before. So we are going to highlight all of them, Ctrl Shift C. This is going to be coffee path number 3. I am going to hit OK, and I am going to create some shape. So I will deselect everything. If you select your layer like this and you want to deselect, you can either click away, or you can click with Control or Command on the layer, and it is going to deselect it. And now we can again create the rectangle like this. Alright, and we will have to get the anchor point. So Y or pan behind tool, move the anchor point, hold Ctrl to snap like this, and go to the scale, uncheck this proportional scaling, create keyframe, move maybe 40-50 frames, and you can scale it like so. And one more time, you will have to call this to be mask 3. You do not have to call it mask 3, but it's good to name your layers. When we have more layers like this, you can put it, or you should put it about coffee path 3. And on this coffee path 3, I would like to choose that I would like to have alpha track mate. And now this is going to be animated like so. Alright, and I'm going to hit Ctrl S to save this. Alright, so here we are. And yeah, I will have to go to do some other stuff, but I am going to continue recording this tutorial later on, but I am going to skip it, so it is going to be okay for you. But yeah, I'm going to take a few hours breaks because I am going to play volleyball. So see you in a minute. So I think that we can continue. And one thing that I made a little mistake, because my path 2 is not animated right now, and the reason is that I have my copy path 1 and the mask 1, and then I have my copy path 2, and I don't have a mask 2 above it. So what I need to do is take mask 2 and take it about coffee puff 2. Okay, accidentally I put this coffee puff 3 and mask 3 in between. Alright, so right now we should have it all like so. Okay, so we have this animation, and now we can animate this also with the mask. But I am going to lock this one, and I am going to also lock this one. Alright, because we want to be able to click on this one. Alright, so now again what we need to do is we need to take this ink. So I'm going to duplicate it. So Control D. I'm going to put it about the part 3, and I am going to hit U to reveal the keyframes, and actually I can show it so I can see it, and I will get my position, or I can just move it like so, and then I will hit U to get my scale, and I am going to move the scale somewhere here. Alright, so like this, and I will actually move it in here. Alright, and I'm going to hide the mask. So I will hide this one, and I will make this to be alpha mate like so. And now this is going to animate in like this. Okay, maybe a little bit later, like so. Okay, the issue is I have started this animation too early, so it is the coffee puff pre. So I would like to move the coffee puff pre to be later, like so. So we have animated this in, then we have this coffee puff, and then I can put this one. Alright, so yeah, like this, it's okay. Alright, so I think that right now what we can do is we can go ahead and animate the camera movement. And as I said, we are going to be animating the camera movement with this null object. So right now I'm going to hit Ctrl A to select everything, and I'm going to close everything. Alright, and I'm going to click away, or you can click F2, and F2 is going to deselect everything. Alright, so now temporarily what we need to do is unlock everything, and we have only locked the pre-composed parts, and now I'm going to create this null object. So layer, new, null object, and we can name this, we can make it to be main control, or you can call it camera or whatever, and we are going to parent everything to this main control, okay, like this, and I am going to parent it like so. And right now you can see in here that everything is parented to this main control. Alright, I will save it, and now what I want to do is go to this coffee composition. This is the main composition, and I am going to right click, I am going to choose composition settings, and I would like to get this back to 920 by 1080, so make sure that this is unchecked, and I am just going to type 920, and I am going to click OK. Alright, so now what I want to do is go to my main control, hit position, and when you have position like this, one thing that you can do is right click on the position and choose separate dimensions, and if you click this, you are going to have X position and Y position separated, and in this case it may be easier for you to know that X position is from left to right, and that we want to animate this one. Alright, so I'm going to make it like so, to get to the beginning, and yeah, we can maybe start somewhere here. I'm going to create a keyframe, and actually I'm going to hit Ctrl A, and I'm going to hit the U, so we are going to reveal all of the keyframes because we will want to see them, and The mask 1, the first mask that is going to reveal the path, start in here. So maybe what I can do is on my main control create a keyframe in here. So in between these two keyframes there is not going to be any movement, and we can actually get rid of this keyframe. We do not need it. So but now from this one to this one, maybe we can go ahead and move this like so. Maybe like this. Alright, and what I can do right now is click F9 to easy ease this movement, and I'm going to look how this is going to be animated. So at the beginning nothing is moving, and then we have this movement. Alright, so let me take a look one more time. Okay, so in my taste this is too slow. All of this is too slow. So I would like to get this to be faster, this to be faster, and also this animation, it is in here, it is this ink, and I would like to move it a little bit back, and I would maybe want to make it faster. So I am going to play this, and maybe actually we can make this camera movement a little bit slower, maybe start a little bit later. So this is now really up to you how you would like to have it. Okay, so I would actually like to maybe easy ease this animation, make it faster, and make it a little bit earlier. And you can sometimes when you animate, you can play with animation like this for a very long time. So this you are never going to make it perfect, so I think this is fine, and I'm going to take a little bit more time. Alright, so something like this. Okay, now we can create one more keyframe, and so we do not want to have any movement in here, and from here to maybe somewhere here, I would like to one more time animate the camera like this. Maybe like so, like this. Alright, I'm going to play this. So this is going to stop, then it is going to move again. Alright, maybe I will make it a little bit like so. So we have something like this, then we continue and we have something like this. Alright, then again we are going to stop for a while. I'm going to create a keyframe, and then we are going to move to the end. So I'm going to move the camera to the end like so, and I am going to play this. Yeah, maybe this animation is too fast in my opinion, this coffee puff free. So I'm going to make this little bit slower, and I will see. And I'm going to animate, oops, I'm going to animate this last part a little bit later. So I'm going to highlight these keyframes and I'm going to move them like so. And yeah, we have something like this. And actually this one, this part 3, I am going to hit S and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because it's too small in my opinion. Alright, so something like this. Alright, so we are almost done. And maybe one thing that we can do is imagine that right now we have created this animation, we have created this camera movement, and we would like to add some text. But right now there could be a little bit issue, so I would like to show you. So imagine that we have in here, welcome to coffee journey and so on, and I can actually go ahead and move this text a little bit at the center, and I can move even these beans, but it is locked. I do not need to worry about this, but imagine that in here I would like to add some text, and I'm actually going to do it. So I will go to my text tool, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to type something like first step is to get coffee. I don't know, something like this. And I'm going to make this text smaller, and also I'm going to make the smaller this height, this line height. All right. And now what I need to do is I need to parent this text to my main control. And depending, because right now it is going to be moving with my composition. All right. So while I am going to be on the place where I want to have it, I am going to parent it to the main control. All right. And I can do maybe some kind of animation, just opacity. So I'm going to hit keyframe on the 100% opacity. I will go couple frames back, and I'm going to put this to the 0, and we are going to have something like this. Okay, maybe I'm going to make it slower, and maybe I will move it to the right like so. So we have it like this. Okay, then we would move, and we would like to have maybe some text in here. So now what we need to do is get the text tool, and we can type second step is something, I don't know. Okay, and again the same thing, put it somewhere in here. I can actually go ahead and Ctrl T and put the 3 dots at the end like so. And now again this text would be moving with the camera. But if I'm going to parent this while I am here, I do not want to do it, but I just want to show you. If I'm going to parent it in here, like so, it is going to be on that place. Okay, I'm going to choose this to be none. Okay, and I will parent it in here. All right, or I can move it like so. And now when it is on the position where I want to have it, now I can go ahead and click on the text, and now I can parent it to the main control. And I can do the same type of animation, very simple. Hit T for the transparency, create a keyframe, go couple, maybe 30 frames back, and put this to the 0. Alright, so something like this. Okay, and the same thing we could do in the last one. So yeah, and again now I have created a little bit of problem, because I don't see my path tree, and the reason is that I created a text in between, or both of these text in between my coffee path tree and mask tree. So what I need to do is select both of them and put them about the mask tree, and right now this is going to be working just fine. Alright, so something like this. And actually I can move the camera in here a little bit more like so, if I want, if it is going to look fine. So yeah, and I can type in here maybe something like thank you for watching. So one more time I would go to the text tool, and I would type thank you for watching. I can make this bigger, so I'm going to go in here and make it bigger like so, and hide this line, make a little bit bigger like so. But again, I can do something like this, thank you for watching, and when I am on the position or where I like this text, I can go ahead, click on the text like so, and I can parent it to the main control. And it absolutely doesn't matter that it is about the main control, but visually I can do main control to the top. And I can actually go ahead and change the main control to maybe yellow to distinguish it. Okay, so yeah, this is it. This is what we have created. We could animate the beginning somehow. Okay, and this is what I forget to do. I forget to animate this in, so I can go ahead and animate the opacity. So I'm going to put this to the 0, create keyframe, go 1, 2, 3 maybe, and put it to the 100, like so. And maybe put it a little bit earlier, like this. So, or maybe we can do this a little bit later, like this. All right. One of the things, if you know how to work with the graph editor, you can go ahead and go to the graph editor. It is this one, and you can play with these graphs, because we have created just basic easy ease, and you can go ahead and make this movement a little bit more and so on. But this is a little bit advanced and I do not want to explain this in this video, but I have created a tutorial about these easings in After Effects, so I can provide the link in the description maybe. Okay, so right now we are done, and now what we need to do is we need to decide how long we would like to have this animation, because right now my composition is set to 30 seconds, but it is going to end in maybe second 14 or 15. So I do not want to have like additional 15 seconds without movement. So what I can do is click N. It is going to cut my work area up to here. You can also do the same with the beginning by hitting B for the beginning, but I would like to get it from the beginning, and we can move it also like so, so you do not need to use the shortcut. So I can go somewhere here. Then I'm going to right click on this, and I'm going to choose trim comp to work area, and now we are going to have only these 14 seconds. Alright, so now what I want to do is hit save, Ctrl S, and now we are going to export this animation. And there are two ways how you can export. You can either use Media Encoder Q, which is this option, add to Adobe Media Encoder Q, or you can use add to render queue. I don't like render queue because there are no good options for the videos, in my opinion. So I always go with add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue, and you will have to install the Media Encoder Queue if you have your Creative Cloud subscription. Okay, I can show you. You can go with add to render queue, and it is going to give you something like this, and you can go in here and you can choose that you would like to have AVI or you would like to have something else, but there are not the format that I want to use. So if you would like to use this one, maybe check some other tutorial, but as I said, I always go with Media Encoder Q. So export, add to Adobe Media Encoder Q. Now this is going to open the media encoder, and it can take a few seconds. Alright, when it opens the media encoder, there is a possibility that this is going to be empty for a few seconds. In that case, wait a little bit, and if it is going to be empty and nothing is going to appear in there, go to After Effects and try to do this one more time. Okay, and it should work. And probably if you do this one more time, later on you are going to have these 2 times in there. But right now what I want to do is in here I would like to go with this H264. This is a standard format. So this one, you can click this match source, and it is going to open something like this. This is very similar to the Premiere Pro, and in here you can choose where this is going to be outputted. So I can click in here and I can choose some location. I can go ahead and create something like render, for example, and I can go inside and save it in there. And maybe you can change this bitrate, but I would leave it as default 10 to 12, and I would hit OK. And now all we need to do is click this little green arrow, and this is going to start to render. So I'm going to click this, and this was very simple animation. So it is going to take only few seconds to render, and then you are going to have your MP4 file. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial, and if yes, don't forget to hit the like. If you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have any question or suggestion, leave them in the comment. I would like to continue with this kind of tutorials. I was doing also tutorials about Adobe Animate, but I hate Animate, so I'm going to stick with the After Effects and maybe Cinema 4D or Photoshop. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.